everybody, welcome back. We have some more cases on I Am the Law, JudgeSim. That last episode, cases 1 through 6, was pretty interesting. Some of those might have been controversial in the way I punished them, but there was some that, we're going off the evidence that the game's providing, not what we know to where it's similar to the real life references. I probably did a couple that I probably would do a little different when I thought about it after the fact, but I was judging in the moment. That's what I picked. For example, like the police officer. If you haven't seen the previous one, I'll put a bookmark up top. But the other one with like the police officer that had the knee on the neck of someone they were detaining. But we just got the autopsy. It was because of that. But as a public servant, in charge of enforcing the laws, they have to be like on their game, tip top, messed up. So I don't know if that punishment was too harsh. Some people might think it wasn't harsh enough. But accidents do happen. And nothing in the evidence said that it was like intentional. So even though I punished them and the thing came up, the racist cop, was punished. I don't know if it was actually racist. We didn't get any evidence specifically that it was. It was just a cop that made a mistake and or was not very well trained. So I don't think, it didn't seem like in the JudgeSim anyway that it was on purpose. But anyway, I just thought I would mention that real quick. But let's get into case 7. And we're going to move into the rest of the cases here. The last one was case 1 through 6. Okay, now this person's really locked up. Deborah Ridden. Alright, see what the case is. Malicious wounding. Let's see. Already has a criminal record. Okay. Deborah Ridden, who was tried for assault, did not like the judge's decision during the trial. Deborah, who jumped from the defendant's podium to the judge's seat, attacked the judge. Alright. After the intervention of the security forces, he was calmed down with difficulty. He was recharged with intentional manslaughter after attacking the judge. Okay. So it's already on for assault, and then apparently malicious wounding, so I guess he wounded the judge. I'm not saying I'm crazy. I'm having delusional problems these days. You can't judge me. But according to your mental health test, you're fine. There's one piece of digital evidence. Okay, let's take a look. Alright. So you see an attack on the judge. Alright. You say you're not sane, but alright, this might be a quick case. Let's see what they have to say. Why did you attack the judge? Like I said, I'm not sane. I see that the mental health test is positive. You're a very sensible person. What would you like to say about the situation? Those stupid doctors can't understand that. I have delusional problems. I've told them this many times. They don't understand me. It doesn't mean you have to attack the judge, does it? The judge didn't understand me either. Like him, you don't understand either. Are you going to attack me the same way you attacked the judge? Of course not. I can't do that even if I want to. Yes, you can. We have taken enough precautions for this. Well, what's an assault charge? Well, then there's malicious wounding. You are not sanity impaired. Alright. What is like a simple assault? What would that be in the United States? It'd be like 2 years, or is it Not even like years? Is it more like 6 months or something, and then probation? See, I don't know what to punish, so we have to like either guess at what we think it is for United States or just make the decision. Like we are the law in this game. So, um, but it was assault, and now it's malicious wounding. Um, did they actually? I'd like to see like the damage, like how much wounding. It was on purpose and attacked. I have no idea. Because even if you don't harm anybody, stuff like robbery or armed robbery, is like a minimum 5. But let's see. Malicious wounding, how bad did it hurt the person? Chained up and everything. It was malicious. Give him 5. Like if armed robbery or something like that's 5, and you don't hurt anybody, malicious wounding's got to be at least 5. But I don't really know. You all can correct me in the comments if you know what the actual law is, like what the punishment would be. Charles Wanson. Okay, so we know what this is. All right. Forming of crime organization, aiding and abetting a criminal, incitement to murder. Okay. The gang, popularly known as the Wanson family, Wanson family, which committed a series of murders, was busted thanks to the gang members who confessed. Gang members who confessed said that the ringleader was Charles Wanson himself. There are at least 12 murders known to committed by the Wanson family. Okay, so it's just execution, right? Among these murders, there is Anna Wachowski, the sister of Wachowski siblings, who are the producers and directors of the recently released sequel, Matrix. She has been brutally okay. The Wanson family has displayed the murders they committed in savage manner and left behind satanic remnants. It is claimed that Charles Wanson would drug people if he found on the street, bind them to themselves, and command selected individuals to kill in the most savage way possible. I think anyway, killing is a choice. You have to respect people's choices. But did you? I mean, okay, so you didn't do it yourself, but you got other people. So you would drug them, command them to kill. I mean, but you're responsible, it appears. Yeah, that's page, attention. Our leader, Charles Manson, is one who told us the murders we had to commit. He was talking about starting a war. He used to say that if we commit these murders and blame them on others, there would be a war on orphans like us would be victorious in this war. He would show us some symbols to draw on the murder sites, and of course he gives us a lot of drugs. Okay, yeah, so they're all... Okay. What do you think people find in you? What do they go after? Why do they go after you and what you say? Even if it's against the fence. I am a new person. Aren't you pretending right now? Who among us isn't pretending? Aren't you acting right now? The judge? We are all in a role. People don't just pretend when they get one. They can't. Because people's fear grasps the reality of that moment. Why did you kill the famous director? I didn't kill anyone. Our friends and I were sitting one day smoking some herbs, so I told them about the bad new movie The Matrix was and how it betrayed the franchise. I may have disparaged the director a little too much. My friends got pumped up and went out and raided the director's house and broke into everything in front of them. The lesson we should take from this is that don't disparage the director while you're under the influence, and directors don't make sequels after many years has passed. Okay. So did he actually, I don't know what, organizing, trafficking, fried trick, that's what he's already got. He's completely sane, just pretending not to be. What's he charged with? Incitement. Here's the issue. He got these people to do it. Alright, he got these people to commit these horrific acts. But he didn't commit them themselves. Like, they should all also be tried. I mean, he's guilty. But can we execute him? See, I don't know if we can, because he didn't actually... If he didn't actually do it himself, that's the problem. I don't think we can execute him because he didn't actually do the acts themselves. Yeah, those other people made their choices. They will also be going to jail, but we will still put him in jail for life. That works, right? Works for me. Alright, see ya, Wanson. Because the whole family wasn't on trial there, it was just him. But that way he can't incite anybody in the future to do anything, so that works. Alright. Alright, let's see what we got here before I let y'all speak. Case. Yoko sues Fragile for damages, who she claims was at the fault for turning her car from the roundabout. Okay. Now, I'm in insurance, so this is something that... Alright, let's see. Also, Yoko was driving her vehicle when she tried to enter the roundabout, which has 4 entrances, from the 3rd entrance. Prior to that, Fragile entered through the 1st entrance. Yoko did not notice Fragile coming from her left as she entered the roundabout and crashed into Fragile's vehicle. Okay, so right off the bat, she was trying to enter the roundabout, but somebody was already there. She's got to yield the right of way. A report was made with the police officers who came to the scene, and Fragile was found to be in the right. Okay, like I just said. Yoko, who sees this situation as unfair, is worth $4,500. It's worth 45. I'm assuming damages to Fragile. She filed a lawsuit for damages. Okay, I looked to my left and right to enter the roundabout. No vehicles were coming, so I stepped on the gas, and at that moment, a vehicle appeared on my left. It was coming too fast and put on the brakes all the way. I couldn't stop, even though I pressed it. Then I bumped into her. The police arrived at the scene, and we filed a report. I soon found out that I was all at fault. Even though I had told the police about the incident, she didn't even care about me. I filed a lawsuit to seek my rights. Alright, as I was turning from the roundabout, a vehicle appeared on my right. It was coming too fast, even though I suddenly slammed on the brakes. She hit me. When the police came and a report was made, I was right. I already knew I was right. I found out a lawsuit had been filed on my behalf. Situation will not change. I'll be right again. Well, you may be right. Let's take a look. Okay, so Miss Fragile was already there, and then you pulled out. And that's where the damage was? Yeah. I mean, it's clear cut. Okay. Yeah, Yoko, I'm sorry, but okay, let's just hear what they have to say. Might be a waste of time here. This is pretty simple. In your testimony, you say that you're looking to your left. Shouldn't you have seen the vehicle coming? I looked intently to my left. I'm always careful not to encounter such situations. There's no vehicle coming from my left. I'm sure of that. She appeared out of nowhere and was coming very fast. That's why I noticed the vehicle too late. Even though I hit the brakes, I couldn't stop without hitting the vehicle. Okay, so here's the situation, people. Even if Fragile was going fast, the fact is, there's cases where, like, say you run into the back of somebody, even if the other person like slammed on their brakes or whatever, or going too slow, or they had their signal on but didn't turn, you would still be, since you're behind them, you would still be considered at fault, even if it technically was the other person's reason it happened. I mean, it's a shame, but that's just the way it is. So some of those cases, it's like, yeah, it's not my fault, but according to traffic rules and laws, it is. Said she was driving too fast. What do you think about that? I try to disagree. I have a very stable speed when turning from the roundabout. If I was already too fast, I wouldn't have been able to turn. I mean, even if you're going slowly, yeah, why don't you stop when you saw the other side? I tried to stop, but they were so fast that I could only stop by bumping into her. Okay, so here's the deal. We saw the picture. Regardless of each one's speed, you have to stop when you come up to the edge of the turnabout. Looked left, didn't see anybody, went, then all of a sudden the car was there. But the car had to go a pretty decent distance. So, and if Yoko is telling the truth, didn't see Fragile, well, Yoko wouldn't have been going fast if it looked left first and then went. But normally you just look left, it's right there, and then you can just go out, and then there you go. So even if Yoko wasn't going fast, they would stop there, and then even if didn't see Fragile and then go, and then Fragile was speeding around. So, I mean, that's a tough case, but we're just going off the police report. It was decided that Yoko was right about that, and okay. It was decided so it was unfair, no payment should be made. Yeah, no payment should be made. I mean, the police already decided it. I mean, I get that Yoko could be telling the truth, but if we're going off the evidence in the police report, I mean, they still got to put her case. But with the length of the roundabout, even if she was going fast, like if you had stopped there, you would have saw somebody speeding fast, because it's not like there's some big thing blocking in the middle. All right. Anyway, okay. Mr. Simpleson. Okay, we know what this is from. Recently, Nicole Simpleson, ex-wife of famous basketball player O.J. Simpleson, and her boyfriend on 7 were stabbed. Okay. Despite hours having passed since the murder, neighbors saw the bloody bodies thanks to Nicole Simpleson's barking dog and reported them to the police. After investigation, a bloody glove was found at the crime scene, and the other pair of glove was found at the near location of O.J. Simpleson. Following the situation, an arrest warrant was issued for O.J. Simpleson, who became a suspect, but he managed to escape from police. I mean, innocent people don't run. I mean, it's just... at the end of the long chase, the police caught him in the car with a pistol and a note. After a detailed examination, the blood of his ex-wife was found on his car, and the footprint from the scene matched. However, all of this evidence was found by a single cop, Tom Hansley. It has been presented as evidence that Tom Hansley has been punished for racist remarks in the past. O.J. Simpson's famous lawyer claims that a trap was set for O.J. Simpson, claiming that the evidence found at the crime scene was contaminated. Well, hold on. Is it contaminated or is it staged? I mean, there's a difference. During his time in custody, O.J. Simpson was observed repeatedly striking his hands on hard surfaces. Alright, this is from Mr. Simpleson. I didn't kill her. There are racist people who set a trap for me. They left my DNA on false evidence and placed it at the murder scene and in my house. I love Nicole very much. I can never do that to her. We had a very civilized relationship and broke up in a civilized way. There were no problems between us. I'm not a jealous person. So why did you run? Why was it in the car that you were running on, but then also left at the house? And he already has a record of domestic violence. Okay. It's not looking good. Let's see what the evidence. Bloody glove found at the murder scene. The other pair of glove found in his backyard. Now that is kind of strange. Why would it be in the backyard? Like, why would it have one at the scene and then the other one just randomly in the backyard? Like, see, that don't make sense. And that, see, it's that doubt, you know, of what happened. But we're going off these cases. You know, they're very similar to real life cases, but all right, there's the footprint. Footprint at the scene. Okay. Suicide, no. Okay, first of all, let everyone understand. I have no connection. Okay, I loved her, always have loved her, and always will. If we have a problem, it's because I love her so much. Blood found over Simpson's vehicle and belongs to Nicole. Now, how did that get there? Alright, let's see the credibility here of old Hansley. The post that led to the punishment of the police officer who discovered the vehicle. Okay. Neighborhoods with black populations have higher than normal crime rates. That could just be statistics. The tendency to shoot at police is 5 times higher than ignore people. Now, I don't know about that, but the crime rate proportional is different, but maybe they're just getting policed a lot harder. See, you know, so the data could be skewed. Okay, that doesn't help us at all. That doesn't help us at all determine his guilt. You know, I could see how it could hurt the credibility of the police officer, but what's more important is her blood in the vehicle, footprint at the scene, but if he lives there, then of course his footprint's going to be there, so that doesn't work. He has one of the gloves in the backyard and the other one at the scene. Now, is his DNA on this? It's just bloody glove. The other pair of gloves just found in his backyard. Okay. Hold on, let's take a look here. Okay, a pistol and suicide note. Well, you know, people are going to blame him. He's scared and he ran. But her blood being in the car is the big thing. The footprint doesn't really matter. It's his house, right? Okay, it was right in front of their house, so it wasn't like, you know, it was outside. Okay. Neighbors saw the bodies because it's outside and the barking dog. Okay. One was found at the crime scene. Okay, one was found at the crime scene. We just want to make sure we get this right. The other pair of gloves found. Okay, so that was at the crime scene, and then that was in his backyard. Is it a different house? I thought it was his house, but it looks like. But it says it's their house. If we're looking at the things here, it says it's their house. You know, Nicole Simpleson and her boyfriend were stabbed to death in front of their house. Okay. Let's see what he says. What's your defense? I want to try gloves. Why do you want to do this? If it doesn't fit, you must quit. Sure. Wearing the gloves. They don't fit. right, we can't take the actual try where he tries to put the glove on because it does the whole thing. It was a long time ago. I was a lot younger. I wonder if any of these cases will get me, in trouble by the community of people that believe one thing over another. But it's cleared, and then they won the civil suit. But I mean, we can't compare that one. We just have to go off what we got here. What we got here, their house, his footprint, blood in his car. That's pretty much it, regardless of the gloves. Gloves really don't matter. So you gotta go off this case, not the real world one that it's imitating. So if that's the case, a double homicide. Yep. That's what we had to do. That was a little longer one, but we got to try to keep, just like that police one in the last episode, we have to keep the real world case. It's similar, but we have to just go off the evidence that we have in this one. That's what we have to do. Otherwise, it's, we can still give our 2 cents on the other one. All right. Case. Washington Wiley introduced themselves as climate activists, staging aggressive action at a museum. The famous painting Mona Lisa by the world-famous artist Leo da Vinci, which is at the museum, recently was attacked by climate activists by throwing tomato puree. This doesn't help their cause. See, that's what I don't get. The climate activists, they're going to destroy famous works of art or get in traffic and block people that are trying to live their regular everyday lives. This is not bringing people to your cause. If anything, you're alienating people that might actually agree with you, but because of what you're doing or how you're going about it, they dislike your cause and method. And I didn't even read the rest of this. I just already know. Museum management is seeking $250,000 compensation as moral compensation for the action. I mean, the present value of the artwork is approximately $850 million. Wow. Okay, so there's no material damage thanks to the protection glass. Okay. You're often subjected to such actions. Okay. The world would not be a better place when you attack the labor of an old man who lived many years ago. Climax need to understand this. This is being hostile to art, nothing much. If you are so concerned about the climate and the world, then go and declare war on those responsible. You can't solve these problems by attacking museums. This nonsense needs to stop. I agree. If people had shown some of the, but they're just trying, it's basically for attention. They do something like that so the cameras will pick it up and maybe that would help their cause, but it doesn't because of what they're doing. I get they're trying to seek attention and get the word out there, but it's doing the opposite. All right, I was watching it. People had shown some of the same interest in our world and our future as they do in these works. The world would be a very different place today. Can you imagine? They can pay $850 million for a canvas, but today no one wants to spend money on preventing climate change. Because of the climate, people can go hungry and thirsty. Irregular migration is increasing. Animals are becoming extinct. Our world is becoming an uninhabitable place. We want to raise awareness about them. Someone has to step up. Okay, I get wanting the awareness of what you believe in. There's nothing wrong with that, even if the science doesn't agree with what you're saying. But then some science will say, okay, some of these things are. But we are not the problematic members of society. We just want to draw attention to people's real problems. So we are forced to take such actions because everyone ignores some facts. Among them is the fact that we are destroying the world. The future of all of us and our children is at stake here. No, not to show this fact to people, but we can destroy even 1 or 1,000 artifacts. What do you have to say? This may be a waste of time. Where did they get the idea of attacking artifacts create social awareness? Could it be that this situation causes an antipathy in people? Our aim is to create global awareness, not a social one. We try to do it the normal way, but people prefer to play the three monkeys. Now they are exposed to at least some facts, and it weighs heavily on them. They need time to digest. Well, in this regard, Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt, but your decision in this case will set a precedent in many respects. I'm not angry that people aren't doing anything about climate change, but please don't stop those who are trying to do something. The dinosaurs didn't realize what was going to happen to them, but we do. Yeah, but, okay. I'll come on here and be a climate denier or whatever, but is there anything you'd like to add? Your Honor, I don't even want to imagine what kind of damage a museum would have suffered if there was no protective glass. Asking to impose this punishment so these actions do not continue. We need to solve some things through reason and logic, not vandalism. Agreed. Is there even evidence? Okay, so it was protected by the glass, so that's good. What are y'all being charged with anyway? It's just details. Let me see the case. Oh, so this is one of those where it's going to give me different options. All right, clients were ordered to pay. It has been decided clients do not need to pay any compensation. Here's the issue. I almost wanted to put on my own compensation or punishment. I was going to both give them, definitely community service since they didn't hurt the painting, and the compensation would actually be, whatever, not $250,000, but what damages the disruption of the museum and other patrons cost the museum. That's what they should be paying. But out of these only two options, we really have no choice but to make them pay in compensation, and hopefully other people will stop. A deterrent penalty has been imposed for climate accidents. Yep, we got to deter it somehow with that nonsense. I'd really like one of those, some that were arrested for blocking free to travel. Maybe not every country has that, but all right. Case 12, so here we are, last case. Let's see what we got. All right. Okay. Kevin Dean. Abraham Bean, a 51-year-old mathematics teacher at Banana College Academy, was found dead in a vacant lot near the school. Abraham Bean's cause of death was determined, 5 stab wounds. Statements of the two students who became suspects the day before everyone kills were used. Okay. It is true that there is an argument between our teacher and me. He insulted me in the middle of class, and I couldn't swallow my pride and swore and left. Okay. Well, it sounds like you did swallow your pride. I mean, you cussed back, but then you left, But in no way did I intend to kill him. If I were to, so that means you did. But sometimes with this game, as we saw in the regular story game, some of these words are, so we'll just ignore that for now. But if I were to kill him, it would be enough to hit that old senile in the middle of the class. But I suppressed my anger and left the class. After I got out of school, I went to meet my friends, and I was with them all day. All right, let's check you out, Sydney Crispy. All right, no criminal record. Okay, my visit to my teacher's office the day before was purely for my questions. I think Kevin was the one who did it, because when the results of our math test were announced, our teacher was commenting on their grades to the class. When it was Kevin's turn, he insulted him in the middle of the whole class, saying things like, "You don't give a crap, you're too stupid for math." Afterwards, there was a verbal altercation between them, and Kevin left the classroom, swearing at our teacher. I'm a student who is very good at her lessons and loves her teachers very much. Why would I do such a thing? But how do you, I guess you just know that he's the other suspect. Alright, see what evidence we got. Time of death, 4:10. Okay, it was after school. 5. Okay. Messages. Kevin, where are you guys? We need to meet urgently. It's very important. Hold on. Let's look at the time here. 4:10 p.m. 16:10. All right, 7 minutes later. Kevin, where are you guys? We need to meet urgently. It's very important. This was Max. 2 minutes. At the usual venue. What happened? So I'll tell you when I get home. I smeared everything on my face. Okay, we're waiting. Come to my room today with an excuse. Okay, that's from Sunny. Don't text me when I'm home and I don't want to go to your room. Well, then I'll upload the videos I took last time to the internet. I'm sure your family would be proud of you. You did it by force, disgusting scum. You also said yesterday if I came to your room, you would delete them. Hold on, where's this going? I may have to blur stuff out, we'll see. Abram's car leaving school at 4. Okay. So it seems like Sydney did it. But it sounds like something else was going on. Let's see what they have to say. Did your teacher have a reason to insult you in the middle of class? Was there a different dialogue between you? He was a backward teacher. He thought he could insult me for failing math. On your phone, you told your friends that we need to meet urgently. What was it that you said you smeared on your face with your hand? It had nothing to do with it. I tried to talk to a girl I liked at school today, and I got too excited and told her some weird things. She was annoyed and finished talking to me and left. You didn't answer the question. You said the reason you went to your teacher's room just to ask questions, but that's not how it was understood in your messages. Can you explain the situation? I was so ashamed that my family is here. About 1 week ago, he called me to his office and told me that I had failed the exam and that he would prevent me from graduating. He threatened me and told me if I did what he wanted, I could pass the exam. On the day of the incident, there was someone else in Abraham's car when he left. Was it you? Yes, he wanted to force me to take me home. I accepted at first, but after I got out of school, I was very scared and wanted to get off immediately. When I told him that if he didn't let me go, I would call my parents and tell them everything. He was scared. He dropped me off near the school and came home. Okay, so we know what happened. I can't tell. Can you all tell? I can't tell if that is... I can't tell if that is the driver or passenger. It just shows it leaving at 4. Ooh, this is a tough one for this last one. It shows it leaving at 4. And what was this? See, that wasn't even the same time. So he put something on the... Smeared everything on my face. What are you talking about, smeared on your face? See, he didn't answer my question. What was it that you said you smeared on your face with your hand? You just had nothing to do with it. I tried to talk to a girl I liked at school today and got too excited and told her some weird things. She was annoyed and finished talking to me and I left. You didn't answer my question. What was it? Smeared on his face. What time was she driving? I mean, it's clearly her. I'm just wondering if the other guy's involved too. And that was at 4 p.m. Okay, that was at 4. The time of death was 4:10. And where was his body found? in a vacant lot near the school. Okay, so here's the tricky part. She was seen in the car. He was found in the lot. His time of death was 4:10. She was in the car at 4, so she couldn't have done it. Right? And we're just saying the game is like spot on accurate as far as the time. So we're just gonna say it is 4:10, like specifically, and she was in at 4. Kevin didn't answer. After I got out of school, I went to meet my friends and was with them all day. But you weren't. So he's lying. A student is very good at her lessons and loves to teach very much. Why would I do such a thing? Okay. Well, now we know why you did such a thing. Here's the thing. I think they both could be guilty. But how do we connect them both together? I get her motivation. He was embarrassed and whatnot, so I kind of get his motivation. This is a tough one, you all. This is a tough one. I don't want to put an innocent person in bars. Obviously, you weren't with him right after school. You're asking, we need to meet urgently. It's very important. We're at the usual place. What happened? I'll tell you when I get home. I smeared everything on my face. And you didn't answer us what you smeared. Okay. So you lied in your statement. You didn't answer us. So I think Kevin is guilty. Now, what was Cindy saying at the end there? I mean, whether he's guilty or not. All right. They went to your teacher's room was just to ask questions, but that's now understood your messages. But the messages was at a different time. I'm so ashamed that my family is here. About 1 week ago, he called me. Okay, we get all that. On the day of the incident, there was someone else in Abraham's car when he left. Was it you? Okay, so she didn't lie about it. Yes. He wanted to force me to take me home. I accepted at first, but after I got out of school, I was very scared and wanted to get off immediately. When I told him that if he didn't let me go, I would call my parents and tell them everything. He was scared. He dropped me off near the school, and I came home. Okay, so she was in the car. Okay, I think I get it now. I think I get it. She was in the car at 4, dropped her off near the school, and then that's when Kevin got him. Dropped her off to school. Kevin got him. Kevin, I think it has. Okay, I got it. We got it. It has nothing to do with his grades. He has a crush on Cindy. That is it. He has a crush on Cindy. He has a crush on Cindy. He went to talk to a girl. Cindy was in the car with the teacher at 4. He dropped her off at the school. She went home. Time of death, 10 minutes later. Kevin, at first, got him, and then texted his friends, said he needed to talk to him, very important, he had to go home, he had something smeared on his face. Okay, we figured it out. Because, look, when they said this, where is it? I tried to talk to a girl I liked at school and got too excited and told her some weird things. She was annoyed and finished talking to me and left. I'm wondering if that girl was Sydney. But basically, alright, I mean, Sydney definitely, I believe, is the victim here, even if she was the one to do it. All right. And what he was doing, the abuse of power. Alright. Kevin, you did not answer my questions. He lied. I may be getting this completely wrong. If you know, like, what happened, if you know, then let me know. I almost want to say he's not guilty. Somebody did it, though. And it's obviously one of these two. She definitely has motive to have done it. And he has motive. But the timing and the way everything came up. Alright, we're going to say he's guilty. Kind of want to just give him public service. But he did kill somebody. But I mean, is it execution? I mean, I think it is. I don't know if it was premeditated, though. He went to go talk to this girl he liked. There she is with the guy, drops her off. She goes home, he kills him. And then takes a friend to bail. He's only 16. He's a juvenile, isn't he? 16? Alright, before we get into the episode, let's see how old he is first. 16. Ooh. It's a tough one. I may have gotten this completely wrong, but 16. I mean, there's juveniles that get life in prison. It just, was it premeditated or not? Because if I give him the years I have in my head, he'll be an old man when he gets out. But he still could get out. I think it was a crime of passion if he was trying to talk to some girl, probably Sydney. Then it happened. Let's just give him 50. I mean, that's probably a little light on taking someone's life, but you know, it'll be 66 when he gets out. That was a rough one. But anyway, thanks for being everybody. Really appreciate it. The end video will have a couple different options for you. Please like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next bunch of cases. Either random next Friday, or maybe we'll get a scary game in there, but we'll see. But anyway, really appreciate you being here. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. Click the next one or check out some of my other content on the channel. You can do it. I believe in you. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.